Hi. So let's see what happens next with our friend Noggin the Nog. Here we go. Let's get in those boats.
Listen, I will tell you more of the saga of Noggin the Nog, as it was told in days of old by the men of the Northlands as they sat by their great log fires. I told you how Graculus, the green bird who was Noggin's guide, rescued a little man on the mountainside who was being attacked by a hawk and carried him back to the castle. And I told you how the little man told Noggin that his people, the little people who live in the Hot Water Valley, were being persecuted by a huge dragon that was rampaging up and down the valley, roaring and trampling their crops. And the little man begged Noggin to come and rescue them before the crops were spoiled and the people starved. So Noggin called his captain of the guard, the fierce Thornogson. Thornogson, are you any good at fighting dragons? I don't know. I've never tried. Well, make ready an expedition.
Here we go.
You and I are going to the Hot Water Valley to fight a dragon. Hooray! We're going to fight a dragon! We're going to fight a dragon! And Thornogson, delighted with the news, ran off to the royal armory to find weapons.
Okay.
Noggin and Runf got a long sledge with wheels and runners, and 6 strong dogs to pull it. Provisions they got from the grocer, corned beef and candles, boiled sweets and biscuits, and new boots with iron spikes from the cobbler. What on earth's that, Thornogson? The armourer says this is what you hunt dragons with. It's a jousting lance. Oh, well. I suppose we'd better take it with us, then? They packed everything on the sledge and sat Ronf on top. And then Noggin took leave of his mother, the aged Grunhilda, and of his queen, the fair Nuka, princess of the Nooks.
Newlyweds.
And as the sun rose over the castle, they set off up the valley. They drove all day, up the winding lanes by the hill farms. And soon the roads ended, and they reached the snow. And far ahead they saw the great black forests. And further still, behind the forests, they saw the peaks of the glass mountains glinting in the evening sun. Many days they journeyed, and it grew cold. The warm summer days they had left behind in the land of Nog were forgotten, as the wind cut across the cold, snowy waste. Then one day they reached the forest, the great black forest of Trolleskaal, where there are no paths, because the trees move around when nobody's looking. Well, what do we do now? The way lies through the forest. Whatever perils there may be, that is the way we must go. Well, I don't fancy it myself. We're sure to get lost. I will fly above the trees, and I will see you don't get lost. So, into the magic forest they went, where it was dark, and the black trees stood in the snow. There was no path, and although they never saw the trees move, they knew that they were leaving no trail behind them. They would never find their way back again, because the black trees would have moved to hide their tracks.
Magical forest. The best.
Often Noggin felt sure that they were lost, but each time they looked up and saw Graculus circling high in the air above them, and they knew that they were all right.
Yep.
Then, as evening came, the ground became steep, and the trees thinned out, and they came up out of the forest and saw before them the shiny walls of the glass mountains. They set up their camp behind a rock, and they made a fire to warm their toes. And they had boiled eggs for tea with toast to dip in them, and everybody was pleased they had come so far without any trouble.
Sounds good.
All, that is, save Graculus.
What did he see?
He looked sad. Come, Graculus, what ails you, old bird? I know this place. I feel in my bones that I have been here before. I feel it very clearly. And yet, I don't see how I can have been here before. I certainly can't remember when it was. Perhaps you dreamed it, Graculus? Dreamed it. Perhaps I did. But I know that over there, to the right of the sun, is a grove of tall green trees around a lake of salt water. And there are fish in the lake, blue fish. Where were you born, Graculus? I don't know. I'm told a trader gave me to Nuka's mother in the land of the midnight sun when I was still an egg. She put me by the stove to hatch and raised me from a chick. Where I came from and in what nest my egg was laid, nobody knows.
Are we going to get an origin story?
Tonight you must sleep, Graculus. But tomorrow, as the sun rises, you must go and find your grove of green trees around a lake.
Oh.
For it may be your egg remembers what it never saw. And there you will find your home. So, the next morning, Graculus flew off. And the others made a hut for the dogs, and gave them plenty of food, and told them to guard the sledge.
Nice.
Then they took up their packs and the jousting lance, and they started to climb.
Gotta get that lance.
It was a long, steep climb, and some of the way they had to tie themselves together with ropes. Thornogson had quite a lot of trouble getting the jousting lance round some of the corners, but in the end they reached a plateau near the top. Only a little way now, up through here. Ronf? Come on, Noggin. I'm stuck. Oh, don't be silly, we're there. This is the hot water valley. I can't help it, I'm stuck. The tunnel is too narrow for Noggs, and I'll have to go back.
Right.
All for Nogson. Oh, it is vexing. After coming all this way.
He's vexed.
Look, there's Graculus. Hi, Graculus, Graculus. Graculus, come down. Oh, Graculus, thank goodness you're back. There's terrible trouble. We're too fat to get through the tunnel.
Okay.
We'll have to think of something. What do you mean, ark? I said we'll have to think of something.
It's not Graculus.
Well, come on, say something. Noggin, it's not Graculus. Oh, don't be silly. Of course it is. Look at it. Well, look up there.
Graculi! Uh-huh.
Now then, which of you is Graculus?
Oh boy. I'll tell you, I love a B story that is as interesting as the A story. You know what I mean? I was not expecting that we were going to get like a Graculus side quest here. I am very excited about that. Okay, so no ships. We're going on land in a very, very cute sledge pulled by dogs. You know, I thought that we were going to, listen, this is a very skeleton crew to deal with a dragon. I thought we were going to be dealing with, we were going to bring an entire army. But listen, what do I know about fighting dragons? I've only done it a couple of times. And frankly, you know, the outcome was not what I was really anticipating. So we're, you know, okay, so I've said it before, but I will say it again. It's the way that you tell the story that's been told a million times before. And I don't know. I think that Oliver Postgate and I just have very similar ideas about, like, if you're going to tell this story, this is what you need. Well, first of all, you need a dragon. You need another group of people that's like unexpectedly different than the group of people, where you live. You've got, yeah, and what he can do really, really well, and what I just love is like when you describe the world in a really unexpected and really beautiful way, like that magic forest where the trees move. Come on, that's top of the line right there. And then those glass mountains, right? So you've got I'm assuming, made out of ice. And this is sort of like the thing that separates, the land of Nog from, I'm going to call him Hamish. I don't know. He is Hamish to me forever, from Hamish's people. Oh my gosh. And so now we've got like this flock of many Graculuses who will now be called Graculi. And I guess we're going to sort of, oh, I hope Graculus comes back with them. Maybe we'll get more Graculuses. Who knows? All right. Okay. So the drama continues, the twists, the turns. I absolutely love it. Let's see what happens next. We have to get to this ice dragon. Also, I'm very interested because we are obviously in the very cold top of the mountains, but this place is about like hot gates or hot, what is it? The land of the hot water or something. I don't know. So how does that change the scenery? All questions that will be answered, I am sure. Let's go. Oh my gosh, this is very exciting. So those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. Let's think about what's going to happen next. Oh my gosh, I'll meet you down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.